In this video, we turn this pile of crap into a motor station. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Future Mitch here. Forget everything that I just said. We will not be using any of that recycled lumber because after I milled it to the size I wanted, it all twisted like a freaking pretzel, rendering it useless. So had to go to Lowe's and pick up a bunch of 2x4s to construct said miter station. So I'm going to pick up the video at me explaining how I guess I'm going to connect it to the CMU blocks or the CMU wall, and we'll go from there. So back to the regular scheduled video. Peace. Peace. Yeah, so now I'm going to cut 2x4s, tap con them into the brick wall and start constructing the miter station from there. I'll start by cutting, you can't see it, there's a drain line from my AC that runs low, so what I want to attach to the wall is going to be about 33 inches, and then we're going to come out, drop a leg down, that's going to be 35 inches. It's still going to be 20 inches deep. I don't require my space, my miter station, my miter saw is pretty small, so and even when I upgrade, I'm getting the maybe the Bosch, I don't know, the one that will collapse against the wall. I'm not buying a Festal. I mean, 1500-1600 bucks for a Capex is ridiculous. So yeah, I know it's probably an awesome piece of machinery, but it's fucking imagination. It's miter saw. It's miter saw. So I'm not gonna spend that kind of money. So. Okay, so after I get the 2x4s cut to length, I am at the drill press pre-drilling all of them for the Tapcon screws. The drill press you see is an old 50s Craftsman I picked up on Facebook Marketplace for a cool $175, so that was a big score for me. Okay, if you're going to be doing some drilling into concrete, get the right tools. If I had a hammer drill, this would have been so much better. This was really a pain in the ass, so, but I got it done. And no DIY video would be complete without the appearance of the Craig jig. So here I am drilling pocket holes for aid in construction, or make it easy construction, and now I'm telling you I'm a dumbass because I undid the clamp. Okay, so the steps you see here will be repeated several times. This is the construction of the carcass of the miter station. So after this shot here, I'm going to speed up the rest of the video for better viewing pleasure, because nobody wants to see this repetitive steps over and over again of drilling and screwing pocket holes. Okay, so something I'm thinking about doing is a series of us renovating this house that we purchased. It's a late 70s ranch house that we lovingly refer to as the Crack Ranch. Now it is mid-century modernish, and we're going to kind of lean heavy into that design. Right now we can't do a full-blown restoration on it or reno, for the simple fact that we still have the house in Louisiana. But once that is gone, then we'll go full-blown reno on it. But it does sit on about 2 acres of property, and I've been cleaning that property up, and we've been making tremendous strides. And it's you couldn't even walk on the property when we first got it, but now you can actually walk around, enjoy it. The dogs love it. It's got a few creeks that run on the property, so it's kind of cool. If that's something that would interest or you'd like to see, leave a comment below. I know that YouTube is flooded with this kind of content from some pretty talented creators that obviously have stronger videography and narration skills than I have. But we'll work on it. We're getting better, and regardless of what you say, I'm probably still going to post them up anyways, because I think it's kind of cool to see that you bought something in a certain condition, and then you get this end goal, just like this miter station. You got this end goal of what you want it to look like, and if you can get it somewhat in the neighborhood of what you're thinking, then it's very rewarding. So anyways, stay tuned for that. So taking the easy way out, I base everything off of the Craftsman Versa Stacker, the DeWalt T-Stack system. As you see here, I'm basing the width of those openings around that system. Also, I'm investing in some Festool stuff, not the Apex, but I do have the sander, and I bought a dust extractor, and those sustainer's fit in these openings as well. So Festool tools in the future, but just the ones that make sense.
Okay, so where I'm at now with the miter station build is I am cutting down some existing or some recycled 3/4 inch plywood I had to kind of make a sub base for the top. I brought it with me from my old home, and I need to cut it down to width. First time I've cut on the table saw in quite a while. I'm pretty excited about it. But let's get a couple things out of the way. I get a lot of comments from the safety police about where is my blade guard and my riving knife, and I'm going to cut my fingers off and kickback and everything else. I'm fully aware of all of those dangers, and I accept them as an adult. They're my hands. You don't need to worry about them. This is not an instructional video. This is just me in a shop. I'm very cautious about the blade. My saw is old. It does not have a riving knife, and I didn't get a blade guard with it either. And if I did, I'd take it off. I don't want a blade guard. So sue me or buy me a new saw. If you're worried about my hands that much, just buy me a saw stop. Let's get it over with. Just buy me a saw stop. All right, let's get to cutting. Okay, so here's a tip. Not a pro tip. I'm not a pro, but a tip nonetheless. Came from a pro. Watching one of Mike Farrington's videos on saw blades and saw blade attachments. He used a 7 1/4 inch circular saw blade. It's a very thin kerf. It doesn't take a lot of material. It cuts extremely well. I have a 1 3/4 horsepower saw, so it's low powered, so it helps with that respect as well. Leaves a very, very good finish cut. So if you've never used one before on your saw and you have an underpowered saw or contractor saw, give it a shot. Not only that, they're cheap, so that's a win-win. My apologies. I forgot to record some stuff. I have the miter saw anchored down. This is where it's going to be. Just like my old shop, similar setup. I'll run the shop vac through the dust right separator and just have it hooked up to the miter saw. And I will make all of this back here is wide open. I'll show you in a second. All of this will be like I'll do a funnel into the Cyclone. Yeah, but pretty much the same kind of setup as I had last time. I'm going to screw down the top now and probably call it the day. But I'm glad to get something set up now to where I can start doing some layout and some work. So, cheers.
Hi, Future Mitch again. I guess you're wondering, what the hell just happened? Well, let me explain. I have a 57-inch fence. I was piling up that 3/4 inch plywood on the far side, and it was unsupported. That was 5 pieces of plywood about as big as a cabinet door that made that table saw fall over. Cracked my trunnion, completely destroyed the saw. No good, no more, no bueno, bad. So this clip coming up, you'll see me using an old Craftsman 100 saw that I purchased before this happened to restore because I like old vintage tools. So I got this in working order. Right after that saw took a shit, I got this in working order. I took the motor off of the destroyed saw, put it on the vintage saw, and got back to work. So that's what you're going to see me using from here on out. I'm actually in the process of making dust collection for it now, so stay tuned for that video at some point. Anyways, back to the regular scheduled video. Peace. All right, now back in business. I am cutting dados and these 2x4s. These 2x4s will go in between the legs of the miter station and will support the 3/4 inch plywood that crashed the previous table saw, and will support the Versa stack system to be shown later. And you'll see what I mean. It'll make sense. I promise. Alright, so I am ripping this 2x4 into 2 pieces, and these will be supports for the lower shelf. And here I am cutting down to size an existing piece of plywood that I ripped out of the crack ranch for said shelf. And here I am installing that shelf. Easy peasy. Okay, this is 3/4 inch MDF, and my God, is it heavy. This is the heaviest crap on earth, I promise you. And then here I am with my beloved Trek saw from Grizzly that everybody knocks on. To me, it's the best $235 ever spent. I say it every video I use it. It's never let me down, and it cuts clean. So until it breaks, I won't replace it. I promise you that. Okay, so getting closer to completion. I'm constructing the fence here. I'm using the same 3/4 inch MDF. Pretty much built it the same way I did the last one. Stacked up 2 pieces on the back side and ran a piece across the front in line with the fence on the miter saw. Now I'm running T-track across the top of that for the stop. Well, it looks like I forgot to record something. I am drilling out some slats that I'll attach to the wall for some storage, as you see here. Again, still do not have that hammer drill, so this was a pain in the ass. But I would like to point out the Versa stack system, the drawers sitting in the miter station, and how good it looks. So that was my vision, and I think I executed it well. Also notice the T-track that runs across the top of the fence on the miter saw itself, allowing you to put that stop even closer to the blade. That is a tip that I picked up on Mr. Farrington's videos. He has a wealth of knowledge and he's a good resource, so I would definitely recommend watching some of his stuff to get some great shop ideas. Well, just great ideas, period. So also some great song recommendations as well. Very knowledgeable, that one. Nice. Nice. Okay, I forgot to hit record on a bunch of stuff. Here's where we're at now. So I have the drill charging station set up over here now, and I recycled a crappy piece of 3/4 inch mahogany plywood. It looks like walnut to me. I don't know. And now I'm going to frame out this pegboard on this side. So in between the pegboard and this, I'll have some shelves. I'm guessing something like that. I don't know. I'm just flying by the seat of the pants. But anyways, progress being made. So cheers. It's been a while since I've worked on the miter station. I don't know where I left off as far as videos. Pretty much done. All I have to do is do some protection on it, some polyurethane paint thinner combination, a few coats of that. So all of this is basically set up the same way it was at the old shop, all based around the Makita LS 1040. I love it, a little soft, had it for a while, served me well. Still got it hooked up to the rigid with the dust right separator. All of this stuff's a carryover from the old house. With that being said, I still own the old house and I go back and forth between Mandeville and the Greenville area in South Carolina. I'm very blessed to be able to do that right now. I wish we can be here full time. Things didn't work out like we wanted them to. Maybe in another year or so it will. Again, I'm blessed to be able to afford the situation we're in and carry both houses and not take a loss. I'm blessed to have all of this equipment in this shop and this space, and I don't take it for granted. But with all that being said, so you're going to see some content from both places. So if you enjoy it, if it brings you some value, you know, consider liking and subscribing. I took some subscriber hits since I haven't been very active on YouTube because of our situation. I haven't had any content to put out, but I did just finish The Rocking Horse. I did finish this, and I have some other ideas, hopefully that are small enough to where I can film that content and get it out, you know, every couple weeks or something. Who knows? I'm gonna try my best anyways. So appreciate it.
for the almost 500 subscribers I have. I appreciate you very much. And I hope the rest of 2025 serves you well as my family. So, cheers.